plenty of control and.
That you were saying earlier on, they play together regularly, don't they? So. Yeah, not the best start for the CCIG boys. Down to 9 players after about 20 seconds, maybe 10 seconds actually.
Yeah, they've. The coach will be pulling his hair out down there.
Sammy Rice's coach won't because he hasn't got any. But the CCIG boy will be.
Good control ball off the top from Samurai. And the first points on the board, Samurai. It's the Samurai uniforms are very difficult to discern. So
they may be letters.
They are letters, but they're quite difficult to
yes,
to pick up, especially from this distance. But nice move work down the sideline there.
Yep.
And I think it reveals to us that it was Amoni Narawa who scored the opening try of this match.
Classic Wallabies have been a bit of a revelation.
Well, they have. They've been a bit of a turn-up. They've got a blend of. They've got a few big tanks up there, but there's some quick, sharp young kids out of the 7 circuit, I think, that are actually scoring them the points. Samurai go high.
That's just.
That was just a little bit too easy.
Just about unlucky. I think the guy that went up for the kick-off was actually claiming he was hit before he hit the ground.
I think he may well have been played in the air too. The referee doesn't agree. The Tigers players are just having that discussion with him now. He begs to disagree. So, and as we all know, the referee's decision is final. So quickly out to a 14-0 lead, Samurai over the CCIG Tigers.
14-0 to Samurai. What a start. The first half.
Yeah, I can see that Tom Florence is H. I can recognise the H out here. So, as you say, the big chap with the strawberry blonde hair is H. Tom Florence.
Yeah, well, they've gone for the very Asian look, but it just doesn't help the commentators. Tigers bursting down there.
Tigers, I thought they'd knocked it on, but they still got it. Good to see them with some ball anyway.
Yeah, a little misunderstanding there, not knowing the lines they're running. Same position though, all importantly. Tigers a clear overlap here, can they move it into space?
That's a big fend.
Yes, a big don't argue, that's for sure. Tigers doing well to control this through multiple phases. Not managing to break a dent in this defence though.
Oh, lovely. Is he?
West down the sideline. Oh, just into touch. Very unfortunate. Kitioni Taliga from the Tigers. Just barely inches in touch there. Sport inside too. He may have been better to pass. Keep the ball alive. Referee's assistant right on the spot there. Very deliberate throw in there. We seem to wait an eternity for
good
it.
contest in there actually. Yeah. Oh, and sorry Terry, that penalty's the wrong way.
Yeah, well, the referees call for the guys to roll away from the ball, and the last guy that placed it back was actually on the ground, playing the ball on the ground. He wasn't the guy that caught the ball in the air, so I can understand the referees
I just
ruling there.
They won the contest there. On their side, but they're okay.
I'm going to catch you.
But the all the confrontations and breakdowns very well contested between most of the teams in this tournament. Clearly taken at the front. Oh. Referee's finding displeasure in something there. Stern words, having a chat with his assistant on the sideline. He's reaching for his pocket. This isn't good signs for Samurai. Unfortunately, no signal from the referee, so we're still at a loss to understand. Okay, so he's pulled a player off the ball. Interesting, that's a yellow card infringement so early in the match. It's not a repeated infringement. It didn't seem like foul play, but never mind, the referee's made his decision. So 3 minutes for 9 players. Will this wake them up? That could have been an interesting bust up the middle, not able to grasp the ball.
But this Tigers team, they show they've been good carriers of the ball, Terry, but with the extra man here, they've got to make something of this. They've got 2.5 minutes now just to get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, because they won't get many opportunities against the Samurai side. Their first match earlier in the day, the Samurai side was very efficient in dispatching the East Africans, and the East Africans have just showed they can be quite competitive, having just played against the Fijians.
They just under pressure. Their passing was just letting them down slightly, Terry. Yeah. But good team. Good team. The Fijians are difficult to gauge.
They are. I mean, 1 minute you think they're exhausted, and the next minute they're foxing, and they come up with an 80-metre burst. So
I think tomorrow it's be an interesting thing to watch when they hit the top teams.
Yeah. I think what you'll find too is a few of the guys in their team that have got a few years on the clock there. Yeah. There's a 40-year-old in the Fijian team. There's not many of the teams to be sporting someone that old. Oh. And for the clever reverse pass, not coming off. Referee playing advantage for the knock-on, which will be over shortly.
They've got to have a chance to go wide here, Terry.
They have.
This is the big ball carrier again.
Good
He's got through a power of work already.
Tigers in, streaking off with the ball for Tigers number 10, and that ball looked to have gone forward in the tackle there.
It just didn't bounce for them, did it? Yeah. Didn't bounce for them. They basically had 2 men supporting the runner, and he just didn't get it done.
Yeah, Kitione Taliga was very, very close to unlocking the door there. A deep kick. The Samurai chasers measure. They're holding their defensive line, which is all important. Well fielded there by Narohi Magavi, wearing letter Z on his back. Again, the Samurai quite content to kick the ball away and give the Tigers possession. It might come back to bite them here.
Surely this is on here.
He's manning the side and support. The ball goes into the hands of Kitione Taliga, and he goes in virtually unopposed. 15 metres in from the touch, right-hand side of the post.
Well, they make the conversion, Ted, back to 1 score.
Yeah, very interesting how willing the Samurai were to kick the ball away there and give it back to the Tigers. They didn't really, that second kick, they didn't have the chase. They didn't post the flat line defence in the middle of the field, so there was a big broken expanse for the Tigers counter-attackers to run into.
That kind of kick, you think they're back in their defence, you think they're going to come up in the line, you think they'll and instead, maybe it was just tired, mate, you forget.
Well, 30 seconds left in the half, the teams are getting tired, but that sort of kick you would generally kick when you know you've got your fast chaser after the ball. They didn't appear to have any chasers there, which made it a bit of a pointless kick and giving away possession.
That's it. Try scorer off having a rest. He's been very, very involved in the game.
Yeah. Samurai back in possession. A whole lot easier to play this game if you've got the ball rather than chasing. Okay, numbers on the left. And got Matt Garland weaving in and out, dancing. He possibly should have passed. Supports in hand, and
That was great support running.
Across the line goes letter V, who is Prior Collier, I believe.
Got to say, you know, the Tigers worked so hard for the try, and then that there was just, I mean, after the initial break, it just looked inevitable. Yeah, the lines that were running, the speed of the ball.
Yes, and with the, you know, with half time up on the board too, if the Tigers could have held out there, it would have meant a very different picture. Now they're faced with 19, maybe 21-5 at half time, as opposed to 14-5. Well, the kick is successful, so
after this you'll be joined by Goody over here, so you'll be two of you silky skilled backs to talk through the game.
Well, who's going to talk about what the concrete mixers do up the front there? No, it's you know, 10s is a game where backs play like forwards and forwards play like backs, and you have to lend your hand to whatever's in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, I know you even watch good 15 rugby. The best jackals are sometimes the centres. You know, you see them getting about, they get over the ball.
And it's all about timing. I mean, they're all coached in those skills these days, so it's just getting there ahead of the second defender to get over the ball and secure position. So once that second defender's there, you've got no show.
So looking forward, just wee half-time break, Terry. Looking forward to Japan. What sort of shape do you think New Zealand are in?
It's a long way off. It's they've got a fair bit of rugby to be played with the Super Rugby competition, all their players involved in that. They try to rest some of the players and give them a break, but generally that competition is going to yield 3 or 4 significant injuries in any season. You just never quite know who they're going to affect. So it's
think there's still space for somebody to come out of the pack and make the team, or do you think the team's too established now?
Well, I think what they've done in the last few years is make a good job of increasing the breadth. So they've introduced players. They haven't waited for players to retire or get injured to introduce the new talent. They've been bringing guys on stream progressively. So there's always arguments about whether they choose the right guys, but there's certain positions they've developed some good depth. I mean, open side loose forwards, they're looking.
A lot of countries would take the choices they've got. I mean, you'd have thought, I don't know, you think Bowden Barrett's a shoe-in, and then you look at that young guy,
Richie Mo'unga, he plays with control in a different side that plays a different style of game, and you saw the two teams played last week in the Crusaders with their control, and they dominated the Hurricanes. Bowden Barrett's, his flair and his blistering pace didn't really come to play as much because he was behind a beaten forward pack and he wasn't getting good ball.
And he seemed to be trying to play a more of a control game, which I don't know if it's Bowden. You want these outside breaks, don't you? You want the gas.
But a lot of it's dependent, as I say, on the ball they get and the way the pack in front of them performs. So it's won and lost up front, they say, but the backs certainly have an influence. But if you haven't got any ball, it's a whole lot harder to defend all game than it is to attack all game.
I think the one thing I'll say, Six Nations, some of this, I think it's going to be a great World Cup.
Well, it's just proven that there's a lot of teams there that can potentially win. We don't have to worry about it being a 1 or 2 horse contest. There's lots of contenders. Okay.
Tigers, 10 minutes. What do you reckon?
Well, I mean, they would have loved to have got away with a quick tap there, but just referee ruling, they've got to take it behind the mark where the penalty was awarded. So they'll go to the line out, reset, and build. They've got to score 3 times to win this match. That's the real difficulty. 16 points means at least 3 tries. So it's I don't know that anyone scored 3 tries against Samurai today, or for a few years maybe.
When they come to this Hong Kong Football Club 10s, I never think they quite understand how hard it's going to be the first tournament they ever turn up at. This is the first time this team's been here. I mean, I think the Water Boys team, you can see, they've had 3 years now, and they're starting to realise what they need to bring to be competitive.
They're putting into play the lessons they've learned in the last couple of years. It's a real cool thing to do, to come to Hong Kong for a 2-day rugby tournament, but you know, if you've never been here before, there's a lot of gee whiz about it, and you know, getting the focus back on the game can be difficult. But Tigers are
that was a big
aggressively going forward now.
A good see you later.
And they just need to retain possession, keep working the defence, and wait for an opportunity, and the one's arisen.
On.
Busting up the middle.
They get some quick ball here, Terry. This is on left.
Oh, there's space on the outside, and maybe not so much now. Fighting well to stay away from that touchline. And they want to clear it. Straight lines, running, commit the defenders, and use the space out wide.
Ball here.
Okay, the big man can only see a hole in front. And he's gone
and
in for the try. Saw a hole, he filled it with the ball. The big man, Harry Higgins, is over. No, it's not Harry Higgins, is it? It's Louis Luamanu. Harry Higgins well in support there. The two tight boys working in tandem. But it was Louis Luamanu came up with a 5-pointer.
Now.
And oh, the kick is off the upright. That doesn't help their cause at all. So
I've got to say, this has got to be good for Samurai, because last year, Terry, they had an easy first day, and then the second day they just slipped up. Maybe they just hadn't had the level of competition. It's a hard game for them.
And it may explain the way they're playing. They're efficient. They're using their whole team. They're rotating their bench well. So, again, learning lessons from the previous year. The ball didn't go 10 metres, but the Samurai chose to play the ball in the air, so that at that point it's game on. And unfortunately the Samurai player knocked the ball on trying to field it.
They've been a bit lucky with the weather, Terry. It's cooled down. It was looking to be really hot this morning.
I think this is perfect weather for rugby. Sure, it's perfect weather for watching it.
It's great for commentating. I mean, it's nice and cool here.
Yeah. Just the only thing missing is a nice cold beer.
I was going to say that I'm not sure about football club's refreshment policy for the commentators, but
okay, and we see a big scrum from Samurai there, driving the Tigers pack off the ball, and you can see there's plenty of size there, and they dominated that scrum.
Jim and I were just talking about the scrum in the modern game now. Question we asked Terry: when the scrum goes down in a game of rugby, would you stop the clock?
In the last 5 minutes, maybe. If you stop the clock
all the game,
right
you end
through
up
the
15
game,
minutes longer.
becomes like American football. That lasts about 4 hours, doesn't it?
You've just got to encourage. I mean, definitely the last 5 minutes, but you just want to keep the game going. What is great now is when the ball's at the back, the referee makes you play it.
Yeah.
Even if it's gone
well,
down.
that's right. I mean, because every scrum you repack, you risk it going down, and you potentially risk injuries. And so once the ball's there, just get on and use it. There's a variance of opinion between people who think the scrum is a way to restart play, as opposed to some who think it's a rugby art form in its purest sense.
I think it's the numbers between 1 and 8 have got one opinion.
Yes.
And 10 to 15, the 9's never quite sure, I don't think.
Yes, meanwhile, back to the action. Samurai hot on attack. Tackler's not rolling away, playing the ball on the ground, so quickly taken. Got space here, and in the corner we have a try for Samurai. Referee wants to consult with his touch judge.
I think he maybe dropped it, but I think
pretty
he
good.
got it.
Timo Sophia has gone in. He slammed it down pretty hard. The referee just wanted to make sure he hadn't dropped it. So I think it was more a very solid plant that made the ball bounce here.
I think Tigers were looking tired there, by the way. Down the top, there was a gap in the outside. As
the scoreline gaps to, the tighter you get. It's 4.5 minutes to go with the scoreline at 16 points, maybe 18 if Naroi Mugabe can kick this, and lovely kick, but just eases away from the right hand upright. So 16-point gap, Samurai ahead, 26-10.
That old rugby classic YMCA coming over the speakers here.
Good contest in the air.
Big PJ Van Zyl coming off for Tigers there. He's in a big game. Carried a lot of ball.
Against Tiger Rugby. And
Yeah, you'd have to say Samurai are looking strong, but yeah, they've 26-10. They've conceded 2 tries in this match, so yeah, they're not bulletproof by any means.
Nobody's looked bulletproof. Actually, Terry. I mean, they're all. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be rooting for Project Water Boys. I think it's really good to see a Scottish team come here.
We're noticing a gentle leaning towards their prospects.
Well, if I'm quite honest, I've given up on Scottish XLs because they've had a couple of hard ones today, but the Project Water Boys, I mean, and as I say to you, they're the easiest team to comment on. They're all called Doddy. My name is Doddy across the front of every shot.
Okay, there's little envy there in their outfits. You secretly have a passion to get out there in one of those.
Oh, I'd like one of these strips. I was going to say, Terry, you know what you were saying about the scrum? That was the scrum as an offensive weapon.
That was a dominant scrum from Samurai, and Tom Florence was the beneficiary as they rolled the Tigers pack right back off the ball. He picked up the scraps and ran 25 metres to score a good try in the corner. So, yeah, not much fun if you're in a pack going backwards like that, because you're never going to end up on top.
When the back starts racing back on you, I'll tell you, it's no fun. It's no fun whatsoever. I mean, in my time, I've found myself overmatched with a tight head, and it's not nice when he decides which way I should be going.
Well, I mean, it's a lovely conversion there. Oh, just short. Beautiful line, just falls under the crossbar.
Talking about that outfits, we'll soon be joined by Goody, but there is that Project Water Boys. It does look like they're wearing a 1-0, doesn't it? Ideal top. But that's not gone at 10.
Okay, they choose to play it in the air though.
Let them play on.
No.
Touch judge has his flag up. Sorry, referee's assistant these days.
Hey, Hong Kong Football Club tournament, touch judge.
Yeah. Most people understand that term.
Yeah. Well, I was sitting over with Stuart Saunders earlier on. He says he wasn't back 10 yards, and I said no, he definitely wasn't. He said, yeah, he's not been 10 yards for a long while.
Okay, Tigers faced with the prospect of having to pack down again, having been demolished in the last scrum. They'll be wanting to get this ball in and out very quickly.
I think he should just throw it at 50 degrees to the right, through his legs.
The referees allow you to feed your side of the scrum these days, but he should be
very
righty.
Strange. You can take one pace to the side. Very strange, actually.
About getting the
well done.
Ball moving. So, ball in space. Tigers looking for an opportunity to peg back that 21-point deficit. Oh. Yeah. Just good defence though. Samurai just guiding those attackers across the field till they basically ran out of space, and that's where the sideline becomes your extra defender in your team. You
look really pretty solid across the park. Get to that second day and you've got the teams that can burst up. Guys in pace, but that's class.
Yeah, pulling out some good tricks here. Zane Capelli pops a little nudge into the middle of the field. Expertly timed, and the try to Matt Garland by the looks of things. But lovely piece of work there with Zane Capelli down the outside, seeing the support looming up on the inside, not being able to get the pass through. Pops a little chip kick over the top, and the cover defence had overrun, leaving all the Samurai up the middle. There was a choice of 3 there for that one.
I thought there was actually 4. I was counting. Generally, when you watch that and it's a coverage, one of them knocks it on, because it's such a certainty.
Zane Capelli adds the extras, and it's a very convincing win to Samurai, 38-10.
So, we have an ex-professional rugby player, so I'll leave you with 2 backs, ladies and gentlemen. It's rather unfortunate, but here you go, Mr. Good. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Andy Good back to the commentary box.